someone could face some sort of charges in this. Rachel Fiset is an attorney and partner at a Los Angeles-based law firm and joins us live tonight. Rachel, the investigation is ongoing. There's a lot that we don't know, but I think, first of all, unprofessionalism is one thing. Negligence is quite another in the eyes of the law. Give us your take right now on who and what kind of charges someone could be facing.
Good evening. So I was thinking that the civil liability, I think is something we're not discussing so much because it seems so very obvious. So in order to be liable for civil negligence is a lower standard than to have some sort of criminal negligence charge. So I'm just going to go on the presumption here that their civil negligence would be found if it was brought to a jury. I don't think that will ever happen. I suspect that Ms. Hutchins' family will settle out with the production company, and that will be the civil case. Now, what is more interesting is what could happen criminally. And there is criminal negligence, involuntary manslaughter, that kind of charge that is possible. I would say not for Alec Baldwin as the person who fired the gun. I think that it would not come out that he was acting dangerously in that way. However, I see that criminal negligence could be found on behalf of the production company or the lead producer, which leads us back to Alec Baldwin and others on the set.
How does the fact that we have learned that some walked off the set because of safety concerns impact any potential charges as the investigation continues?
So investigators are looking at every aspect of what happened on set that day and multiple days before it, I assure you. And the facts that are coming out are, I think, very bad as it could relate to a potential criminal charge for this act. If it is found that safety protocols were simply not being followed to a degree that under New Mexico law they were not exercising due caution, then that's where you would get a charge. So negligence and carelessness is one thing, but to rise to the level of criminal negligence such that you could have a manslaughter charge based on this act, will be looking at things like, were safety protocols being followed? Did people know they were not being followed? Were there complaints made relating to safety on the set? And as the facts unfold, it does appear that all of that is coming into play.
Rachel, we do anticipate hearing from the district attorney along with the sheriff's department this Wednesday. Do you anticipate that that is too soon for any charges to be called in this case?
In my practice, generally charges don't come that fast, particularly in something like this where they are going to want to do a very thorough investigation. Charging the corporation may be one thing if it rises to that level. And then generally where corporations are charged, there will be individuals charged as well. Things are coming out against about the assistant director. Whoever is in charge over there is what they're going to really be looking at. So I don't expect charges to be made Wednesday. This kind of accident will be a close call no matter what, as it relates to criminal charges. So I suspect they're going to talk to us a little bit about the ongoing investigation, but because it is an ongoing investigation, not give us too much information.
Incredibly tragic and just the beginning of a potentially long legal road ahead. Rachel Fiset, thank you for your time and your insight. We appreciate it.